Hello, it's Kesha. Welcome and welcome back. We are on I think we're on Prosperity Commandment number 4. So let us first close our eyes so we can center. Take a deep breath in and out. Pick up all the busyness, the ridiculousness, the drama, nonsense of the day, if it started for you already. And if it never ended, just pick it all up on the in-breath and release. Again, another deep breath in and out. And just check in with your body and notice how much better you feel just from that 2 seconds of attention. Feel your higher self, your Christ light shining forth. This is the truth of who you are, and nothing can disturb your peace. Breathe that in. And now see a column of white light coming down over you, softening the rough edges, bringing peace and calm. And breathe that in. Feel it quickening and illuminating each cell of the body, filling the spaces between the cells, strengthening the body, making it more radiant. Any area of dis-ease or discomfort dissolves in the presence of this light. So we are made full, we are strong and whole. And now with your mind open to receiving the highest messages and wisdom, ears open, eyes open, ready to receive. When you feel yourself ready, gently open your eyes. Oh, we'll always say that is the best part of the day whenever it happens. All right. The fourth commandment. Thou shalt let go and let God do it. I'm ready for this. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath unto Jehovah thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Jehovah made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that there is therein, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore Jehovah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. In order to have a better understanding of the fourth commandment, we must know the true meaning of the word Sabbath, and also the use the Hebrews made of numerical symbols in their ancient writings. The word Sabbath means a time of rest or repose, intermission of effort. A Sabbath, then, is a period of cessation from effort in order to rest and relax for the purpose of gathering strength and power for a new period of activity. Moses instructed the Hebrews that such a period of perfect relaxation should be observed every seventh day, because to the Hebrew mind, the number 7 was a symbol of rest and peace, the idea of completion or fulfillment following a period of activity. The number 6 symbolized satisfactory action in the relative realm. In the idea that God created the universe in 6 cycles of activity and restored and rested during the 7th, we have the background of Moses' idea that not only man, but all nature should do likewise. In the natural world, the period of rest allows all forces of nature to gather strength for a new burst of activity. In the physical body, which is so closely allied to the natural realm, a period of rest enables the cells to store up reserve energy. In the mental realm, such a period of rest becomes a time of peace and quiet, enabling the mind to indulge in reflection upon the things of spirit. This spiritual infilling is an absolute essential in all cycles of normal growth of the individual. In every demonstration, there must be a resting period, times of cessation from outer activity, while one dwells in complete reliance on God and on the operation of his immutable laws. It is evident, then, that the essential truth in this commandment is that every period of well-rounded activity must be followed by a period of perfect peace and rest. In this understanding, we see that prosperity's fourth commandment may be worded thus: Thou shalt let go and let God do it. We find many instances in the New Testament showing us how Jesus conformed to the idea in this commandment and making his great demonstrations. He would go apart to pray, and after such a period of infilling, he would move through a period of intense activity of teaching and healing. Then he would go apart to rest a while. His resting period would in turn be followed by another cycle of work. In these periods of activity, we have many instances of his acknowledging his heavenly Father in prayer before performing some miracle of healing that we would call a demonstration. From Jesus, we get the perfect model of the way to make a demonstration. Pray, work, rest, then repeat the cycle. Our major difficulty in making any demonstration lies in the fact that the personal self, the willful Adam, insists on assuming the entire responsibility and so prevents us from receiving the beneficence of the divine will. Yeah, we'll just have to relax our mental and physical minds because we think it's all on us to do, and it's simply not. Ours is to ask and get ready to receive. The how, the when, the doing, the details, that's God's part. But we actively think we have to be doing something in order to make it happen, when realizing what we've done is ask, and that is enough. We need to learn that our part lies in acknowledging God's presence, in accepting him as the good we desire, and in doing whatever is logically required of us to further this desire, and then letting God do his part through his already established laws. Again, let us follow Jesus' example and look to nature for an illustration. The farmer selects the seed. This may be likened to the exercise of volition in deciding what we want. Next, he prepares the ground before planting the seed. This is like the period of prayer in which we acknowledge the one and only source from which can come the harvest or fulfillment of desire. The third step is the planting of the seed. This may be likened to the act of accepting from God the particular thing desired, the planting of the soil of mind, the idea that is to be made manifest. There is still another step to be taken on the farmer's part. He must tend the seed by keeping it well watered and free from weeds. We tend the seed idea planted in mind by pouring out our faith upon it and uprooting, through the use of denial and affirmation, all thoughts of fear, doubt, and worry. I'm going to stop right here, partly because this particular passage speaks to me in an issue I'm dealing with today, and I very much, I have already been planting the seeds. I have certainly asked for the blessing that I'm looking to experience. And I've been saying my affirmations and keening my mind towards the realization of my manifestation. And I noticed today that there was just a slight twinge of doubt. And as part of my process, one of the things I decided to do today was write a letter to God. And when you're making lists of that what you want and what you don't want, it's incredibly important that you be incredibly honest. We get kind of hung up, I think, on our prayers needing to sound a certain way in order for God to hear them. No, we just need to express what's on our heart. Same thing when we're making a list. We might ask for the things that we think, we ask for the things that we think we want. We also ask for the things that we think others think that we should want. And then we wonder why things don't come to fruition. And part of that is because you've not asked in full faith, in truth, for that which you truly want. And so it's good when you're making your list to include all of those things. And even in something I did today, because I still couldn't get over it just from saying, this is what I want, listing out the things that you don't want, listing out the experiences you don't want to have. That is the beginning of denial and, a step towards affirmation. Because when you are saying, I don't want to experience this, you are giving voice to the thing that really bothers you and really troubles you. And it allows it expression for healing, right? Now, we of metaphysical mind know that we're not going to go around telling everybody that's not what I want, because that's giving interest to what we do want, or that's the thing that we're building the most energy about. And so that's what we would expect to see. But in those quiet moments with spirit, it's okay for me to talk to God about what I don't want, because I'm giving rise to, it's like lancing a boil. I'm letting the poison flow from that fear. And once I see it and express it to God, then I realize, wait a minute, is anything too hard for Jehovah? Well, no, Are all things possible to those who believe? Well, yes, right? And do not all things work together for good for the one who loves God and is called according to his purpose? I know that the fact that I have this desire means that I am called to that purpose, and it is within me to experience and bring forth. And so if I have to take a moment to talk about what I don't want, to release that pressure, then I'm in a position to reframe it and say, you know what, God, I trust that you can handle this and that you will help me overcome this, help me heal doubt, help me heal the disbelief, doubt and disbelief. And once that's done, then I can move into a space of, okay, this is what I do want. Not going to focus anymore on what I don't want. I've told you about that. You know what's up with that. What I do want is all of this over here. And now once I can talk about what I do want, I can begin to get excited about it, right? And I'm generating that adrenaline, that energy, that excitement. And then I can begin to talk about it, because once that adrenaline and excitement is moving, your mind doesn't know whether it's already happened or if it's yet to happen. The important thing is that you feel it. So now that I move to that step, I can confidently say, this is mine. This is what I expect to experience. This is what I claim, right? And so expressing what we don't want to feel or experience is a step towards getting to where we do want without glossing over anything, right? Because too often I think when it comes to affirmations, you have that ping pong ball, that tennis match of the mind where it's like, I am prosperous. Meanwhile, you're sitting there fretting about how you can't pay your bills. It's foolish to say I am prosperous in that situation because there's nothing about you that's going to believe that. And it will sound like you're in fairy tale land when you're trying to. But if you can have the honest conversation with God and Spirit about, God, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I am tired of not being able to pay my bills on time, in full, and in peace. Car repossession is not something I choose to experience. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to pay my rent, but I know with you all things are possible, right? So you can see how the beginning of the expression of that negative thing we don't want to experience can then be turned around into something positive. And so keeping that in mind, bringing us back to this period of rest. Once we have gotten to that point where I'm afraid of this over here, that's now been changed to, well, this is what I want. Now this is what I expect. Once you're in that space of this is what I expect, this is what I choose to experience, and you have fully taken that in, and you know when that point is for you. There's nobody that can tell you when that is, but you can feel it. And you need to keep working on your affirmations and prayers and whatever it is until you get to that point. When you get to that point that you know, hey, before I can express the thought, it is already prepared for me. When you were in that space of knowing, the only thing that is left is for you to give thanks for it. And so that is you giving it over to God, right? Well, there's nothing more for me to do. I have asked for it. I am now putting myself in the position to accept it, right? I'm not mentally fighting it anymore. I welcome it in. This is truly what I want. And now it's just letting it go. We don't have to think about it and keep doing the same affirmations over and over again, especially if we already feel that we've outgrown them, right? That's when we begin to say thank you. Thank you, God, that this is done. I am so happy and grateful that this experience I wanted to have come to pass has now happened. And it's in that space that you get even more excited. And so if a shred of doubt should pop up, if a little weed comes up, snatch it out of the ground quick, right? Come back to your affirmations. Hey, is there anything too hard for Jehovah? Anything is possible to the one who believes, right? All things are possible, or all things work together for good for the one who is, you all know Romans 8:28. So just keep that in mind, because that begins our period of rest. And rest might be that you completely forget about it. I think I love the prayers. Well, I love all my prayers, but the ones where I have sent up a thought, and then it wasn't so important to me. It was like a prayer of the light touch, and I had completely forgotten about it. Right? It's out of my hand. I've said my piece, and it's out of my hands, and it's out of my head, and then 2-3 days, a week, or whatever goes by, and this thing manifests, and it's like, oh yeah, right, I asked for that. When you can let it go completely, I think that's an indication that you're that much closer to manifesting. And then, like Georgiana says, you're going to water the seeds with your attention and affirmation. You're not holding on to the prayer still, but you're simply watching the plant grow, trusting that, even though you can't see anything having broken above the surface, there's tremendous activity going on beneath it. So we water it with our good thoughts. We water it with our constant affirmation of positivity that we express in our regular day throughout, as we interact in our world. And so it's that light touch at that point, right? You're not having to stress and train and try to force this thing, and God, you will listen and make this happen for me. It's no, I've said, God, I've told you what I want, even though you already knew, because you were the one that put it in my heart, and I know that if it's in my heart, then it's mine to do, have experience, right? And so I'm going to trust that you're bringing it to pass. Thank you, God. I can't wait to see how you bring it to pass. That is one of my favorites, because that is anticipation and excitement. And that's the space that we want to be in when we're waiting for something to manifest. It's active patience. It's active waiting. The farmer doesn't do absolutely nothing once the seed's been planted. There's still weeds to be pulled. There's still, other chores that can be done while we're waiting patiently for the seeds to break forth. And I think we will leave it there. I love these chats with you, and I love this material, and I love how it is dovetailing so nicely with that which I am experiencing, because that only means that by the time we get to the end, there'll be something even greater to report. Or we'll move on to the next book that I need to help me get me through, and it'll be helping you as well. So we're in this together. One with God is a majority. Don't forget the truth. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.